Discovery calls, strategy calls, upfront client chats. Should you be having these, and what should you be calling them? And you may think it's really not that important, but actually it really, really is. What you call these calls really matters in terms of what you put across to your client. So first of all, should you be having these calls? And really for me, this is an absolute no-brainer. Even if you are massively successful, fully booked out, and you could be maximizing maybe the number of calls, number of sessions that you do in a day, you still want to be having a discovery call with a client, because really to get good results for people, you need to make sure they're people you want to work with, that you think you can help, that feel right to you. I can tell you, there's nothing worse in the world than having clients coming to you who you've not met before. They're turning up for an appointment and you just know that they're not the right person for you. You need to have that upfront call for your sake, for your client's sake, for your reputation's sake. So having these calls is essential. So what should you call them? What should you call them, and why does it matter? So I call them discovery calls. I hear other people calling them strategy calls. I know some people talk about having chats or various other names that people come up with. And as we know as hypnotherapists, words matter. And as I talk a lot about, as someone trying to establish a brand, establish yourself as a hypnotherapist, the words, the images that you put over to people really, really matter. They are the fine line between people coming to you or going to somebody else. It's the fine line between somebody wanting to talk to you and not wanting to talk to you. So let's go through the three things that you typically see these calls being called. So some people call them a chat. Let's have a chat. I see that quite often. And, you know, depending on you, kind of person you are, and the kind of clients you want to work with, having a chat might be okay. For some people, that just feels comfortable, if that's the kind of clients you want to attract. For me, and I would say, I think for most people, actually saying we're going to have a chat, while it might sound cozy and comfortable, people aren't hiring you to have a chat. And a lot of people who've come to us as hypnotherapists have maybe quite likely spent time in talking therapies before, where all you do is chat. They don't want to have a chat. They want to have a serious call with you where they understand what you do. They understand your experience of helping with their issues, and they get that sense of, do they feel good about working with you? Do they trust you? Do they feel confident that you can help them? So having a chat takes you back to that just endless talking therapy, and it also kind of suggests that it's a bit random. I call them discovery calls, and I'll come on to that in a moment, as I said. But let's talk then about strategy calls, because I'm seeing a lot of people saying call them a strategy call. And I believe in coaching, strategy call is a relevant thing to call it. But strategy calls for hypnotherapy sessions, for clients. So to me, when I hear about someone saying, come on a strategy call with me, I'll tell you what I think. I think strategy call means somebody's going to try and take me from talking about the thing I want to talk about into some big picture thing. They're going to try and sell me a big program. They're trying to get me into their $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 pounds, whatever it is, program. Strategy calls suggest that you want to have a conversation about a big picture, which is going to have lots of work underneath it. And I understand this because I worked for many years in management consulting companies. And when you talk about strategy calls, you're basically talking about setting out a plan for lots of other work and work streams that sits beneath it. So a strategy call, for me, feels completely wrong. And if I'm there as a client, and I think for most clients, when they hear strategy calls, they think of some of those kind of adverts you see on Facebook or on Instagram, come on a strategy call with me, where you know that that person's going to have somebody who's going to take you through a process and suddenly hit you with trying to charge you a huge amount of money for a big program of work in their elite program, or whatever you want to call it. So strategy calls have a place, but it's not an upfront call for hypnotherapy. That is not what people want. So I call them a discovery call. And a lot of other people call them a discovery call. Why do I think a discovery call is right? Because it's about setting the scene of what the call is about. I'm not trying to impose a strategy to take something into a big picture, bigger project. I'm having a discovery call where I can discover about you as a client, about what's your issues, what's happening, what are the things you've tried before, where I can take a judgment on how complicated I think it is to help you get where you want to get to. And for the client, it's a discovery of understanding what I do if they don't already understand what it is that I do. It's a discovery of how do they feel about me? Are they comfortable enough to work with me? And when I worked all those years in sales and marketing before, this was the stage, the initial conversation we'd have with clients, and we called it mutual discovery. This was for selling big, complex services to organizations that really were transforming people and processes and the whole performance of an organization. You had an initial phase, initial conversation as mutual qualification, basically about seeing if you're right for each other, whether you want to work with them, whether they want to work with you, whether you can help them. And the discovery call sets that out right. It is that mutual qualification. Are we right for each other? Do we trust in each other? Can we believe in each other? Let's move forward with confidence. Let's help people understand how many sessions they're going to need or what program of work they're going to need to get to where they want to get to, setting the right expectations for success. So for me, a discovery call just has all the right connotations, Now, obviously, like most things, these phrases can get overused, and some people might associate a discovery call with somebody trying to give them a big sell on something. But you think about it, it's a discovery, a mutual discovery, whatever you want to call it. So what should you choose? If you're selling work to hypnotherapists, it should be, in my humble opinion, a discovery call. If you're selling big consulting programs where people are coming to you knowing that they're expecting a big kind of Tony Robbins kind of thing, a strategy call might well work out. You're expecting advice and to talk strategy about how you grow your business. But most people are coming to you for therapy. They're not coming to you for transformational business advice. So call it a discovery call, and always have that discovery call, because in that discovery call, you discover whether that person's right for you. They discover whether you're right for them. You get any nasty surprises, or you should get any nasty surprises out the way. You can have that conversation with the client about how much support, what package they're going to need from you, what offering they're going to need from you, so you can give them the right advice. And with this, you get more effective sessions, you get better outcomes for people, you get happier clients, you get more referrals, more testimonials, and you build your business. So hope you enjoyed this. Please share any comments, any feedback. I'm always open to discussing a point. Tell me if you think I'm right. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if you've got a better name. I'm always open to learning. Thanks a lot. Bye. See you soon.